Hello, everybody. Welcome back to some Assassin's Creed 3. Apparently, I'm really fucking tired for some reason. Uh, yeah, picking up where we left off, we just got the lumberjacks to move into the homestead, and we're on our way to somebody else here. I don't remember where this is. I know we get the lumberjack. There's an inn at some point. We get Hunter. The lumberjack, the hunter, the inn, a tailor, maybe, and that could be what this guy. Okay. Fuck off. I see. He's one of those big dicks. Good lord. Taking so much fucking damage. Hate fighting these guys. Like, look at how much fucking damage he took. Like, good lord. No wonder yeah. Where are you hanging anyway, buddy? Oh, there you are. The other dude was laying on top of it. Yeah, the big guys suck. I feel like he lifted that rope like way too easily, like the first lift that he did of the rope.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you all right?
I think so. Didn't do much to me aside from a good scare. Blackguards.
What did they want with you?
My purse, which was meager, and they decided to punish me for their trouble. Silly, really. My tools and equipment were worth a king's share to the right man. In any case, I had best get on my way. It's a long walk to the nearest inn. I thank you again for your kindness.
Have you no home?
Oh, well, I was a proud resident of Boston until recently, but I'm not a supporter of His Majesty, and, well, I was forced out of my woodshop and home by loyalists.
There are plenty around here who could use the services of a skilled craftsman if you were looking for somewhere to settle.
Is that right? I may look into that.
Okay, woodworker. Maybe there isn't. Well, I don't know. There might still be a tailor. Been a long time since I played this, so. So yeah, he can now craft level 1 goods, and then as we upgrade him, he can craft better stuff. Now I do believe that the only use he really has is for trading. I don't think that he has any other use. And it doesn't even look like I can, in fact, do anything with him right now, but that's fine. Catherine. Godfrey. Who the hell's Catherine, though? Godfrey was one of the lumberjacks. So is Catherine maybe like one of their wives or something? Can't do anything with her, so whatever. All right. So anyway, back to business. We need to head over to Achilles. I'm assuming to learn about boat stuff, but not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure that that's what we're going to learn about. Look, a beaver. For the most part, I'll, you know, do that as we go past some, just because I know that we'll need some of all the different pelts in that at some point. God, look at them all. All right, we'll stick with 3 for now. But yeah, as you can see, we get like beaver pelts, beaver teeth, castoreum. For the most part, I think that all that's good for selling. Also, can I? Oh, I can fast travel just straight to the harbor master. Cool. But yeah, for the most part, I think it's just selling, and we end up with land routes and sea routes to sell stuff, and like different things will sell better in different routes and whatnot.
I met him once. Go away! Said go away, boy! Do you not speak the King's English? Oh, I didn't see you there, old man. I'd have set my home in order if I'd known you'd be calling.
The boy's name is Connor. He's here to restore the property.
Restore? Restore? Pardon my manners. She's still the fastest in the Atlantic. Sure, she needs some attention. Minor things mostly, but with a little affection,
minor.
she'll fly again.
Who is she?
Who is she? Why, the Aquila boy, the ghost of the North Seas.
The boat.
A boat? She's a ship boy, and make no mistake about it. I thought you brought him here to restore order. I reckon he's the greenest thing on the frontier.
Connor, meet me back at the manor when you've finished here.
You said it requires repairs. You able?
She does need work. A ship is a she, boy. And yes, I can refit her, but I'm lacking in the proper supplies. Some quality timber would help me get started.
I can see to that. How long before she is able to sail again?
Just get me the lumber, boy, and I'll raise a crew.
This way. Do believe to get back to the manor. So yeah, we'll repair the boat. Like I said, there's a couple of missions you can do with it, and then that are DLC missions, and then there's a few other missions that you can do that are, I think, just like clear out the trading route missions. And I don't remember if you can actually upgrade this ship at all. I know you can. I guess I shouldn't say no. I think you can customize it a bit, but I don't know if you can actually like upgrade it to like more cannons and whatnot, because there is combat missions to clear the trading routes so that you can do that more.
There you are. I've something to show you. Come, take a look.
What is it?
A ledger. It lets us manage the homestead's dealings.
And these?
That was years ago. Before the slow fever, before the Templars, before everything collapsed. but that's all in the past. Better we focus on what's in front of us. Take up the ledger, and I'll teach you how it all works.
All right. So yeah, this is our stockpile. And it basically allows us to buy from people without actually having to go to them. And then we can trade. So yeah, as you can see, we have a land convoy, and we'll be able to liberation missions and privateer contracts can lower taxes. Oh, and you can lower taxes by clearing forts. So yeah, doing different missions will give you different routes to take. So yeah, this one goes to Boston, Hancock store number 5. As you can see, the risk is 35% with a 30% tax. So we'll get 21 profit. And then I guess we can't look at the other guy. And then send the convoy. And I do believe you can set different things to go to different locations all within the same convoy. Usually that increases the risk, and it could potentially increase the taxes as well, depending on where you're sending them. But as we go, we'll be able to upgrade to get more convoys to send out at once. We'll get more places to send them as we clear the forts. It'll take less
Time
taxes.
passed quickly after that. My days a blur of study, training, and work. What little free time Achilles allowed me was spent learning about the Templars, about Charles Lee and my father. I longed to confront them, to put an end to their schemes, to ensure my people would remain untroubled and free. But I knew it was too soon, that to approach them now would see me killed. All my work would be for nothing. Patience, restraint. These proved the most difficult subjects for me. But in time, I mastered them as well.
Look,
Days
Achilles is out
became
doing
months.
stuff.
Months became years. And as my skills and knowledge grew, so too did I.
But yeah, as you may have seen there, it also said that a new crafting recipe upgrade was available. I don't... Logbook, inventory... Yeah, I don't remember how to do that. But yeah, that's your basic upgrades like arrows and whatnot. I'm not sure that we can upgrade our like armor at all, but and weapons, we just buy different weapons basically. But yeah, as you can see, the dock has gotten better. He's repaired his ship. So yeah, these here are the privateer contracts. And they'll clear the routes so that we can trade to different locations using the sea trade instead of the land route.
Come aboard and feast your eyes, boy. No, not the left foot. Never the left foot. Horrible look. Step with your right foot first.
She is... solid?
Aye. Weatherly and sleek. She'll fetch 12 knots in a stiff gale. Ne'er a ship from here to Singapore can outrun her on her best day. What do you say we take her out and show you what she can do firsthand?
Where would we go?
As it happens, she still needs guns and the officers to command them. We'll launch straight away. Don't worry, lad. I'll make sure you sprout good sea legs. Haul in the mainsail! Get up the rigging! Hand over fist! Come on, men! Let's get her out where she needs to be.
And convoy to Boston, 10 minutes. So the time that they give you for those is real time, not in-game time.
Come on, lad. No time like the present.
And I do believe that like something can like stuff can happen with the convoy, so that you have to then go out and like save it.
Double time, boy. It's time you learned.
But I think you can like lower the risk enough that you rarely have to do that.
Come on. She won't bite.
Half sail!
You know, and then as you can see the wind in the bottom left.
Ah, yeah, killer
It shows you
flies
which
again.
way it's going.
Do you feel it, lad?
Martha's
Set a
Vineyard.
course for Martha's Vineyard.
Rich people live there.
We'll find our guns and officers there. She's a nimble vessel, but the faster she goes, the more cumbersome she grows. And the firmer your hand needs to be. Enjoy this stretch of open water before we come upon those shallows. Call for full sail if you like.
You know? So yeah, pressing A once gives you half sails. Pressing it again would obviously give you full sail, and then you can back all the way
Wind looks
out
to
to
be
no
shifting.
sails.
Stay alert, Connor. Gusty winds can be difficult to manage.
So yeah, the wind will do this every now and then. For the most part, you don't, you know, just keep your ship pointed the direction you need to go, and you'll be fine. When you get a rogue wind, as it says there, you can lower the sails, because that gives you a little bit more control, and it can't push you around as much. But also, as you saw, even with the high winds, or even with the full sail, I still I still ended up going more or less straight. It's not too bad.
Now, take us through these shallows. Careful not to run up on them. The sandbars will slow us down, but the rocks will put a hole through a hole. And if you want to make a quick tack, call for half sail. She's more maneuverable then.
Yep. The only real issue with it is, you know, an issue that I imagine actual sailors had all the time because of the position of the steering when compared to, you know, the boat. It's really far back. You got the mast and everything in your road.
Mind
So
those
it's
other
sometimes
vessels.
it's hard to see.
Hold your tack to keep your right of way.
So basically, I think what that means, hold your tack to keep your right of way, is that like, if you're going straight, the ship should move to avoid you, I think. But yeah, for the most part, I don't think that we do like a huge amount of sailing in this game. And the stuff that we do, I don't think requires too much of like moving around like straits and islands like this. And yeah, if like the wind's getting to you, you can always just go to like a full stop and not worry about it. This vineyard.
Cottages.
Thankfully, this boat ahead of
We're
us seems
close.
to be keeping pace with us, so we don't need to worry about ramming into them, which is always nice. This little one is not, though. That one's slower, but that's fine.
No sail. Drop
There we
anchor.
go.
We'll go ashore, buy our guns, and find our officers. Oh, hello, Miss Mandy. You're looking every bit as ravishing as I remember.
After all these years, you sail all the way to the vineyard to pay me compliments?
We are looking for David and Richard Clutterbuck.
Nice to see you, too.
Robert Faulkner. Where the hell you been?
Sorry for leaving like I did, lads, but where I was going, no one could know. You two working much?
No, between contracts at the moment.
Well, we're looking for gunnery officers. What would you two say to working with me again?
We'd be for getting into a few more scraps.
Good show. The Aquila is a fine vessel. We're fitting all the guns as we speak.
Looks like your friend's about to catch a beating.
Where is Charles Lee?
I don't much care for your tone, boy.
Hey, you don't want to be doing that, Biddle.
Bobby Faulkner turned to wet nursing. It's good you finally realize you're a shite sailor.
Whoa, 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 not in here, gentlemen. Better still, not at all. Bobby, take your friends and get out!
Let's go, boys. Our guns ought to be ready. Come on.
Now, unsurprisingly, I don't think that we get out of here cleanly.
What the bloody hell was that about?
The older man is a Templar. Who was he with?
A Templar? The young buck was Nicholas Biddle. Nobody. Sails before the mast. Midshipman for the Crown.
Are the guns ready?
Aye, but we won't jump in over our heads. We'll find a suitable target and show you how they work. We've fitted her with a modest amount of guns to start, but rest assured there's ample room to add more should you feel the need.
Okay, so we do get to upgrade it then. I wasn't 100% sure on that. I kind of assumed, but...
Looks like a British frigate with half seas over. Should do nicely for a spotted target practice. Bring around broadside, and when all guns are on target, call fire.
Round shot for a start.
Oh. So yeah, it just shows you the direction you're going, and they just fire that way. You don't need to worry about, like,
Well
aiming
done,
a
boy.
huge amount.
Now, aim all guns at her bow and do as much damage as possible.
But yeah, they'll basically hit anything within that. In
Powder in there.
later games, there's
Now
more
give
to
the
it.
swivel guns a turn. More precise. Hit those old powder barrels and light up the sky.
Yeah, there we go. And these work differently. In the later games, you hold it down and it auto targets. So
Not bad for a spud, Captain.
You are a fast learner.
Provided something interests me.
Ah, getting a taste for the open sea, are we? We'll make a jet tar out of you yet. Now we should be getting back. The old man is like to have my hide for keeping you out so long.
alright. So yeah, the ship combat in this one easier control-wise than the other ones. Not that it's hard in the other ones, but just the fact, because like in the other ones you have to
Why is he
you have to
shooting at
aim
us?
more.
Destroying property of the crown, disturbing the king's peace, take your pick.
What do we do?
Naught else but to fight back. Sink the bastard. Use the spindles on him, Captain.
Go. go. Now they didn't attack very much, but I have a feeling we're not done yet because we haven't even learned how to brace yet.
Twaddled another one. Where in the bloody hell did she come from? Brace!
So yeah, if you brace, somehow the ship misses a lot. But we need to brace for multiple attacks, and I'll do it with this ship just because. Now we did brace, but we were also very much out of range. And now I don't remember if these guys will I don't remember if these guys will try to ram us at all. Okay, there we go. We need one more attack from you guys. There we go. You missed. I do believe when you take cover, you still take a little bit of damage. Yeah, but very little. It's also hard to fire and take cover at the same time, but for some reason we're taking a lot of damage right now.
Not bad for your first voyage, eh, boy?
Now we best be getting back, or the old man will have my guts for garters.
Alright. Oh, a new painting is available at the manor. Full sync. There we go. We learned about trading. We learned about the ship and how to combat on that. I don't think I'll be doing much ship stuff until I get it upgraded.
I got 'em, all of them. You get what I need, and I'll give 'em to you. Simple. You got a ship, could find 'em all to boot.
Who is that man?
Him? Some old salt always on about letters he's got from Captain Kidd. Nonsense, really, but he doesn't hurt no one, so I'll leave him be. Talk to him if you fancy, but be warned he'll chew your ear off. Anyway, the Aquila's here for you. If you should get a pang for the open sea, we'll be waiting. Now, I implore you to head up the hill before the old man comes out of retirement just for me.
So yeah.
Weeks. And not even a goodbye before you left.
Sorry.
Well, what are you waiting for? Put them on. Once upon a time, we had a ceremony on such occasions. But I don't think either of us are really the type for that. You've your tools and training, your targets and goals. And now you have your title. Welcome to the Brotherhood, Connor.
Hey, we're finally an assassin. Got our assassin gear. I appreciate that, you know, they made his robes more, you know, colonial plus native, right? It's kind of weird that it had, like, the native style to
Desmond.
it
I'll be
before
happy
he
to
got
hear
them.
there's actually good news for once.
Yeah?
I've managed to locate a power source, and it's relatively close by. Up for a trip to Manhattan?
Is it safe to leave? Abstergo's gotta be looking for us.
Obviously it's not safe. Can't exactly sit around here hoping to get lucky, though, can we? We need that power source. Besides, I'm sure you can cook up some way to hide our movements.
Maybe. The Templars have access to all kinds of satellites and camera systems. We'll need to find a way to mask our digital signature. I can probably camouflage the van, too. But there's not much I can do for us.
That's an easy one.
Yeah, put a hood up.
Local utility companies have assured the public that they're completely prepared for the upcoming solar maximum. Disruptions to service are expected to be minimal.
If only they knew.
What's this?
A remote-operated camera. It'll provide us with a feed while you're on mission.
The audio changed to be weird.
This will let us talk to each other.
We're almost there, so listen up. The artifact is in an office penthouse in Lower Manhattan. At this time of night, direct infiltration is going to get you noticed. I think we're better off having you drop in from above.
What do you mean, above? Can you hear me? Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yep, read you just fine. Now why don't you power up the camera? I've got pictures. Running diagnostics. Perfect. I've got a nice strong signal.
Do ya? You got a strong signal and it looks like that? Now, thankfully, that's just to like... Well, I don't know. I was gonna say that's just to give us an excuse for why we're in third person, but realistically, we were in third person when the game started, so it doesn't really give us an excuse for that. Since there's no reason that she would have had the drone up, then. As you can see, he moves just like the assassins, but his environments, we only do this a couple times, I think, but his environments tend to be a little more cluttered because, you know, they're more modern day shit, so he doesn't always, I tend to have more trouble moving Desmond around areas than I do anybody else. Than I do like Connor.
Oh, that's hold still. That's a lovely view.
Seriously, Sean? Fuck you.
Okay, up we go. But yeah, we do this here, and I want to say we do it one more time as well. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but while they were doing their little cutscene there, Juno was in the background up on one of the higher platforms in our little hideout there. I would never do this. Like, even assuming I would be athletic enough to do this, there's no way, because it's just like so easy to just be dead immediately. Like not only like if I slipped or something, but just like something wasn't screwed on quite right or something like that. Like,
no security to worry about.
And on the not so bright side, the slightest misstep means you're effectively paced.
yeah.
Shut up, Sean.
But yeah, like all it takes is one thing to not be, and not only that, but like in real life, there's also the very easy possibility that you don't actually have a path. Like, obviously, because it's a video game, you always have a path. And there's always going to be a way around. And for the most part, in real life, if you really need to, you can probably get most places, but
You should be high enough to make the jump.
Should?
It'll be fine, don't worry.
it's more laid out here. If anything, in real life, it may actually be easier. Because, like, if we brought, like, bolt cutters or something with us, you know, we could, like, go through some of the wire fence and everything to, instead of having to, like, climb around the outside of the building, you know, like, we could cut through certain things in that. But obviously it's an Assassin's game, so we gotta have the, all the climbing around bits.
Jump when you're ready, but wait for my signal to open the chute. Timing's really important here. Too soon or too late, and you'll miss the building. Now! Open your chute, now!
I hope we're heading for this helipad, because I don't know where else we're going. Now, technically, she said too soon, and yeah, too soon and you're going to overshoot it, but at the same time, you can, like, control your descent somewhat. So you should, in theory, have, like, a pretty good window when you can open it and still make it.
That wasn't so bad.
So, you must be Desmond. Not exactly what I expected, but I guess your kind doesn't have many options these days.
Who are you?
Ask your father. Now give me that.
I don't think so.
Look, I'm not supposed to kill you, but the boss man didn't say anything about fucking you up. So you got to the counter. Oh!
Wow, dude, you are horrendous at your job.
So who the hell is Daniel Cross?
Believe it or not, he used to be an assassin. The assassin, the way I've heard it told, but it turned out he was a sleeper agent for Abstergo, programmed to infiltrate and destroy the organization.
How did he know you were there? We could be compromised.
They must have caught me snooping inside their network and sent Cross to see what we were after. If they were aware of our current location, we'd know. Though, I will say this. Doesn't bode very well for future expeditions.
I've set up some cameras topside. If anyone shows up, we'll see it.
I'd suggest you go see about finding a socket for that power source. Or we can return to Connor if you prefer. All the artifacts in the world won't mean a thing without the key.
Alright, well, let's go plug this in. I do like that they give you the option where it's like, you can just go back in. But you do have to do this at some point, so we may as well do it when it becomes available. You can also go and see what Juno's up to up there. I think that's still Juno anyway. There is another one. There's Juno and somebody else that she doesn't get along with or some shit.
Excuse me, there is a message for you.
Is there now? Somehow I doubt that. Alright. Yo, what up, Juno?
Wonder what's inside.
Only one way to find out.
And she's gone. But hey, a new pathway has opened up to us. And drop. And let's go check out this way. I don't remember if there's actually anything to find over here right now or not. Oh, apparently.
What is a fact? Is it fixed? Immutable? Certain in its existence and only awaiting discovery? Or might it be changed? Here we learned the answer and thought that it might save us. They were used to command, to control, to own. But we soon discovered another use. When enough sat in thrall and were told to believe, their thoughts took on form. What was imagined became real. If 100 minds could wish away a wall or create a tree, what might 1,000 do? 10,000 more? Might we change the consensus and will the threat away? We resolved to send one into the sky where it might illuminate us all. Once placed, a sentence would be uttered. Make us safe. In this way, we would change the consensus. We would save the world. But it never came to be. We sent a dozen of them skyward, but there was no way to maintain control, to direct the beam, to enthrall the world, to speak the words. Though this was strange and dangerous, what we tried next was worse.
Okay. The whole, human thought creates change is... Well, it may have been a little bit of a newer concept when this game came out. I mean, whether or not it's true, unlikely. But there's arguments to be made.
Our first instinct was to travel back, to change the past. But we could not find a way. But forward, we could look forward. And so here we sought to see beyond ourselves and know what was to come. First, we watched to learn if our work would succeed. But the answer was always the same. So we moved on to other things. But she remained. The one you call Minerva. In time, she too stopped looking, and instead began to speak. She called out across time, in the hopes that you might be saved. She hid messages where none might find them, save for you and those within this place.
Fascinating.
I'm tired of it. The cryptic warnings, the threats. Just tell us what you want!
But they are. We saw the Nephilim there. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them. Imagine trying to explain all this to a 2-year-old, to a grasshopper. When they said the will of the gods was unknowable, they meant it. Literally.
I killed her, you know. I killed Lucy.
It was the apple, son. It was Juno.
I saw what she was. What would happen if I let her live? I could have stopped myself. I mean, there was a force there. But I didn't have to. I chose to.
Desmond.
Lucy was going to betray us and take the apple back to Abstergo. I saw the satellite launched. I saw them turn it on, and then... it failed. Whatever's on the other side of that door, it benefits Juno. We need to be careful.
Excuse me, there is a message for you.
I don't know. So yeah, that kind of like, shit, what's the word? Changes what happened at the end of Brotherhood, you know, because he's like, because at the end of Brotherhood, you know, the apple takes control and you stab Lucy, and then it's like, oh no, and then like in Revelations, you learn that she was actually an Abstergo agent and was only helping you so that they could learn what they needed to and get the apple themselves. And then you get to this game and it's like, yeah, I could have not done that, but you know, I saw this stuff and chose to do it. And it's like, all right, now you're just, I can't remember the word for it. They're changing the story. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is where the next power source needs to go. There's Juno. Alright, well, down we go. If I can get back out of here. I may have just wanted, I don't know, can I go this way to get out, or does that just lead me back around or something? I honestly don't remember how to get out of here now. Yeah, that's where I came from. I imagine there's a faster way out, but this path should be fine. I probably could have just jumped down from there if I wanted to, but yeah, this is how we got up here, so. Alright. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Look, we're back at the bottom. Alright, let's go interact with this just to see. Patch notes. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember what those are about. That might be like from what's his face, but let's see what our people have to say and then we'll call it done for this part.
I know everyone thinks I'm being silly, but I can't shake the feeling we're being watched.
We are being watched. By Juno. Or some version of her.
Do you think it's a recording? Or is she a ghost? Or something else? Is she talking to us the way Minerva talked to Ezio?
No clue. I mean, who knows what else they were working on down here? There's still so many rooms we don't have access to.
But do you think she's like literally down here, waiting somewhere, still alive?
Still alive? That's mental. That means she'd be at least 75, 80,000 years old? They're powerful, yeah, but not that powerful.
They came down here looking for a way to survive. Maybe they found one. Was it weird seeing Cross?
What do you mean?
It's different for you. You don't know about what happened, I guess. For a long time, he was important to us. He was a different person.
Sean said he was a sleeper agent. Like Lucy.
It was different. She made a choice, but Cross, if you read the files, Abstergo just... They did terrible things to him.
Rebecca?
You're lucky. We all are. We have people who care about us, who look out for us. He was all alone, and the people he thought he could trust, they used him.
Did you know him?
No, but I knew Hannah.
Who's that?
She tried to help him. She trusted him. But there was a raid about a year ago. She stayed behind so the others could escape. Tried to reason with him, to see if she could fix things.
Well, what happened?
What do you think happened? He killed her. That's what he does. That's all he knows how to do. Sometimes it seems like that's all any of us know how to do.
Rebecca.
I just want to be alone right now.
Alright. I mean, look. Some people need to die. That's all you can do about it. Alright.
Son, I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have lashed out like that. You have to understand, I've never been very good at this. Never mind that we live rather extraordinary lives.
Yeah, I kinda liked my ordinary one.
You can't escape who you are, Desmond.
So I've noticed.
Look, it's silly for us to go back and forth like this. I admit, I did a shitty job raising you. I apologize, I'm sorry. But it's important you understand it didn't come from a bad place. You're my son. I love you. I guess I was so busy trying to make sure nothing bad happened, I didn't consider the consequences. Truce.
I can't believe it's taken me so long to ask, but... how's Mom? She's not...
No. Your mother is fine. We decided it was safer if we split up for this job.
Always assuming the worst.
For good reason.
Can I at least say hi to her?
I'm sorry, it's too risky. Maybe when we're done.
Right. When we're done.
Is that it? Because you're still walking with them. That was weird.
Have we ever tried to make peace with the Templars?
Throughout our history, there have been moments. Several, in fact. But...
like unity.
It's impossible. There are existential differences, insurmountable. If there were to be unity, it wouldn't be a truce so much as a submission.
But knowing what's about to happen, wouldn't it make sense to try and talk to Vidic? Come to an arrangement, even if it's only temporary?
We'd all be so busy watching our backs, nothing would get accomplished. Imagine that. We're more productive at war.
Well, have we ever tried sending in someone? Doing to them what they did to us with Lucy? Or Cross?
We have, and it's never worked. We've sent people who were either too weak and found themselves turned, or too strong and were unable to carry out the charade.
I just feel like we all want the same thing.
We use the same words, but that's all they are, words. In the end, it all comes down to freedom. We seek it, they detest it. And so there's never an end to the fight. Not until one side is completely gone.
Is that even possible?
Probably not. Our two groups have existed in one form or another since, well, since forever. But things can be better than they are. And that's something.
Did you look for me, Dad? When I was gone?
Every day.
Come on.
I mean it. Every night I'd look, searching for your name or variations of it, hoping you'd slip up. Abstergo only found you first because they had better access. A few more days and it would have been me.
Well, I'm here now.
And I'm glad.
Okay. That it?
Do you think Lucy regretted what she was doing?
I used to think I knew her well, but clearly that wasn't the case. So I really can't give you an honest answer.
She seemed so sincere, though. Like she really wanted to make a difference.
Yes, well, when I first met him, I thought the same thing about Cross.
It just keeps happening over and over again.
What does?
Everything.
Don't get weird on me, Desmond.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. Don't worry.
All right, then. You should think about getting back in the Animus. We've got to find that key.
Okay, is that... Wow, he had a lot to say this time.
We should probably get back to
Okay.
Connor.
All right, Sean, let's see what you have to say this go around.
Ah, Desmond, there you are. Can I ask a favor?
Maybe.
When this is all over, I'd like to try turning the dial back on the Animus. Like, all the way back. To the time of the first civilization.
You think it would work?
There was no real loss of fidelity when you visited Altair. Then again, that was about 1,000 years ago, and I'm looking at going back at least 70,000 more.
Sure, I'd be up for it. It'd be interesting to see what things were like back then.
Excellent. I think it would prove most enlightening.
Oh, why'd you have to move away? I was reading something else while you were talking.
So this is how it started.
What are you up to?
Just brushing up on my American history. Well, I say history. They certainly teach you strange things in the States.
Like what?
Well, for all the talk of this being a revolutionary war, it was a civil one. Well, not that kind of civil. I mean, there was no America versus Britain. It was Brit on Brit action.
Well, yeah.
You can clearly see how the whole thing got started. One war gave birth to the other.
You mean the 7 Years' War?
Exactly. Seems the Crown overspent in its attempt to keep the French out, wound up with a great deal of debt. Believing that the colonists should help to shoulder the burden, new taxes were created. It was a reasonable request, even if Parliament was rather, well, undiplomatic about it.
Well, it's not really fair to tax people for a war they didn't want any part of.
What? Didn't want any part of? Did you not notice George Washington with Edward Braddock? He was right there in the middle of it. So here you have the Crown spending who knows how much money to secure a place for the colonists to thrive, and then, when they ask for a little bit of help... Right, look, think of it this way. King George and the colonists, they all go out to dinner, right? And when the bill comes, George asks for them to kick in and pay their share. Fair enough. Now keep in mind, he's been taking them out to dinner gratis for decades now. But the colonists, oh no, they insist they only had a glass of water and a side salad. Never mind the table's full of half-eaten food and empty bottles of wine. Now when the king points this out, what do the colonists do? Oh, they flip the table over and they storm out the restaurant. Probably intending to return later and burn it down.
You left out the part where the king pointed a gun at the colonists and asked them to cover dinner for everyone in the restaurant.
Right, yeah, interesting take. If he pulled out a gun, and I'm not sure he did, it would only have been after the 100th failed attempt at getting them to pay their fair share.
But how do you define someone's fair share?
Well, with a war, apparently.
I don't know. How do you? I mean, I hear people bitching about, it's like, oh, millionaires and billionaires don't pay their fair share. So, I mean, how do you determine that?
Like this exist?
There are dozens of them, all over the world.
And somehow no one's ever found one before us.
I don't think that's true.
Oh?
When I was at Abstergo, Vidic talked about silencing discoveries made by non-Templars. And I'm sure Abstergo has dug up plenty.
The things they must know.
Regretting throwing in with us?
No. Just looking forward to when we can finally trounce those bastards so I can dive into their archives. Oh, I think I found a lead on another power source. Later, Desmond. I'm in the middle of something very important right now. Just a rule. Just follow that as a rule.
Yeah, he is right, though, that it was more of a civil war than a revolutionary war because technically everybody was British at the time. So it was just a civil war. But, that doesn't really change a whole lot. And it wasn't really fair that, a war to be fair, and now, like what Desmond said, it's not fair to tax people for a war they didn't want, literally happens constantly. Like, how many regular citizens of any country, not even just the States, but like any country that goes to war, how many of the regular citizens really wanted that war? Like, obviously you get sometimes where it's like, oh, they're defending themselves, like they weren't the aggressor. But even then, they still don't want the war. Their taxes go towards it. Even like now, well, I guess not now, but even in places where there isn't a war, they still generally keep a military, which the people get taxed for. So they get taxed to prepare for a war that may never come. I mean, and they want a war, but they're still being taxed for it. So, I mean, that's not really a fair thing. But the thing is, though, that it wasn't that they didn't want, well, they didn't want to be taxed for a war. Is taxation without representation, because they weren't allowed any seats in parliament or whatever, and yada, yada, yada. I'm not American. I learned very little about their history growing up, so who knows. But that'll be it for this part. Next part, we'll go in with Connor, and we finish sequence 5, and I do believe sequence 6, which is what we're going into, will be like where most of the stuff opens up and I can run around and start doing stuff. So we'll probably do one more before I actually start running around. So like after the next part, I'll probably, like in between the next part and the part after that, there's probably going to be a big jump in what I've done. There's going to probably be like a big chunk of like hunting and upgrading and shit that you just aren't going to see. Which means I'll have to record this one early this week. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow after work. But either way, that'll be it for this part. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time for more.